The ability to stay focused and not give in to distractions is going to be the key metric of productivity for the next decade. Unfortunately, this is not something that I am naturally gifted at. I often get distracted. When I should be concentrating on something, oftentimes my mind wanders every which direction and I get distracted and go down rabbit holes. But thankfully, I found a technique which helps me to be more focused in the moment, as well as trains me to be naturally more focused in the future. And it all starts with this. Hey there, I'm Kelly. I'm a father of 6, a full-time software developer at Rescue Time, and Dean of Digital Campus at Sigma University. On this channel, I like to talk about tips and tricks to help you be more productive, to get more done in less time, freeing you up to do all the things that you would love to do. And yes, you heard me correctly. The secret to being focused, at least my secret, starts with a notebook. I mean, come on, what else did you expect coming from me? It had to be a pen and notebook, right? It is the notebook that is with me almost all the time and contains all of my random thoughts. My usage of this notebook to help me stay more focused actually began in church one Sunday morning. As usual, I had my legs crossed, notebook open, pen in hand, ready to take notes on the message of the sermon. But I ended up only jotting down a line or two, which is fairly typical for me. If you ask any of the people around me, they would probably say that I am an extremely avid note taker. I am writing down all sorts of details on the message of the sermon. But that is hardly ever true. Yes, I am always writing. It doesn't always have to do with the message of the day. You see, my secret to staying focused, whether it be that sermon or lecture, is to write down all thoughts that have nothing to do with the sermon or lecture. I've found that if I don't do this, if I just keep them in my head, they stay in my head. They're always coming back, spinning around, always niggling little thoughts, wanting to stay there so I can remember them later. Whereas if I take a quick couple of seconds and jot them down, they're gone, and I can focus on the sermon itself. Now, as I've already said, I apply the same technique to lectures, whether or not they be for my master's courses or for conferences like WWDC next week. But this same technique also comes in handy when I'm sitting here in my office at my desk, looking at the computer, doing focused work for Rescue Time or for Sigma University. I always keep the notebook open and to my right, and whenever a random thought occurs to my mind, instead of going over to Google or another notes application to jot it down there, I'll just write it down on a pad of paper. This allows me to stay in Xcode and stay focused, and it also gets the idea out of my head. I'll get back to it at a later date. And, sometimes I'll just cross those ideas off because they were dumb ideas. The key point here is I'm taking the time to get them out of my head, which is important, but I'm also not doing that digitally, because if I did, I know that I would get sucked into some wormhole and it would just keep pulling me deeper and deeper and deeper. That is why this notebook is the secret for me to staying focused. It allows me to get the distracting thoughts out of my head, freeing my mind up to stay focused on the task at hand. I've just had to come to accept the fact that these ideas will always be present. They will always pop up. I just need to accept them, get them out, and move on with the task at hand. As I mentioned earlier, I will be applying this technique all next week as I listen to tens of hours of WWDC conference sessions. That's Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference, in preparation for what they are releasing in iOS 16 and macOS 13 this fall. If you're interested in hearing my thoughts on what new technology they release, as well as how it can help us be more productive, then please stick around to this channel because I will be releasing a video on that as soon as I can. Until next time, bye. If you ask any of my one moment. To determining how productive you are over the next decade. No, I don't like that either. Yeah, let's do this.